Calisthenics or machines is one of those really odd questions that I hear around quite often. There's absolutely no need to select any one. Your muscles will respond to the same intensity and angle of stress the same way always, irrespective of whether the stress is caused by a machine or by your body. Also, a machine, by the way. The rear delt fly is a great exercise. It uses a set of muscles that we may otherwise ignore usually, mainly because in day to day life, external rotation of shoulders is not a very common activity or very common movement. Maybe let's talk about the muscles briefly, just to paint a picture in mind, building an intuition for it visually. So there are these intermediate muscles that lay over a bunch of deep muscles, and then there are superficial muscles that further sort of cover the intermediate group of muscles. This is again a very crude segmentation. Each of the deep, intermediate, and superficial are quite multi layered. When it comes to rear delt fly exercise on a fly machine, my focus is to use and slightly load the superficial and intermediate muscles, um, the ones that are responsible for external rotation mainly, namely the infraspinatus, the teres minor, which are mainly for that external rotation, and then you have teres major and of course your posterior delts, right? Posterior deltoid muscles, which sort of origin from the spine of the scapular plate. As I can see, most of these posterior muscles are underdeveloped as compared to the anterior ones. For me, pectoral and the anterior delts, etc., which is quite common situation, to be honest. As a modification, instead of regular strict form external rotations, I begin the flow with an exhale. Just load the rotator cuffs with small angle to start with, and then just hang in there, letting the load sort of spread and transmit around. I let the muscles sort of play around and guide the movement. No rush, very slow movements, making it isometric wherever it feels like. Overall, it's just very flowy movement as against the regular strict form back and forth that we tend to do. After unloading the rotators, in fact, I like to go into this nice and deep back arch, and then curl back up. It also gets all that rectal fibers of abdominal muscle really engaged and fired up. I like to call this a phoenix flow.